Welcome back to the Press Box. Mark's back from vacation.
Hi.
It's been about 2 weeks since we've had this, so.
I can't believe you and Ken didn't shoot a show last week.
Shocker.
I can't believe it. It's so weird.
Yeah, well, it was actually a pretty busy week on the local front. You know, the Midcoast Junior Legion baseball team's doing pretty well in the state tournament right now. We had the crate race on Sunday, so a couple of local stuff to talk about. But first, we're going to start off on a depressing note because the Red Sox still suck.
Yeah.
But anyway, you have a story to tell before we get to that.
Yeah, I did. There's something I want to tell about my vacation, so I won't bore everybody. But my whole family now, we all go to Old Orchard Beach, and we get like a place right on the beach. It's a great spot, and basically we didn't have a DVD player. We didn't think we needed to bring one because the data situation last year was really good. So we just brought our Apple TV, our Roku, or everything. This year it was not so good, so we were like, well, we need to get a DVD player. So I was like, well, let me go get Inglourious Bastards because it's like one of my family's favorite movies. So we got the kids to bed and we were planning to watch it. So I go to Bull Moose, get this, and I go to Walmart in Scarborough and find a $13 DVD player on clearance.
Cheap.
Yeah, it was just like the cheapest, but it was a nice unit. But it was like clearance. You could tell the box had been beat up a little bit. But I was like, okay, well, I really don't need it for the week. So I plugged the DVD player in, and I open the DVD player. And there's a DVD in the DVD player.
Is it that one?
No, it's not Inglourious Bastards. This is just in here. I'll show it to you first. So you guys all know that I hate the Patriots. And so this DVD was in the DVD player. You see that? That's a Super Bowl 51 commemorative DVD about their win over the Falcons. So God hates me, I think clearly
awesome.
Is what's going on.
I love
it. I'm going to give it to Ken. So there you go.
There's Ken.
So I still
Can't use it.
yeah.
Oh well.
I'm pretty sure it'll still work. But I couldn't believe it. I just told my whole family, I'm like, everybody stop what you're doing. Why did this just happen? I can't believe it. Like the Super Bowl 51 DVD in my brand new DVD player.
Brand new.
Yeah, not really brand new. It was a nice DVD player though, but I just couldn't believe it. I opened that up and that DVD was in there. But other than that, had a great vacation. Zach's actually going out on vacation tomorrow as well, so that's why we're trying to squeeze this in real quick on a Tuesday. So you guys have got something until
we're not gonna miss a beat
next week.
So.
Yeah, next week we'll be almost to fall sports season. We're real close now.
Almost.
So
that was fast, huh?
But another thing about my vacation was it started out really well because the Red Sox were playing really well. They won the first 3 games of that 4-game set against the Yankees. And then they didn't win again until I returned. They finally got a win last night against the Royals, but they lost 8 in a row. So we are now for those of us keeping track at home, we are now 5 games under 500 or 5 games over 500. We're now 5.5 back of the second wild card and 14.5 back of the Yankees in the AL East. This is as far back as they have been in either race all year, and by comparison, obviously, as close to the end of the regular season as they've been too. I'm not feeling great about this. Obviously, what are your thoughts? If you're asking me, I feel like it's over for the Red Sox in 2019.
Yeah. I'm going to jump in that same boat. You asked me if I had watched any of the Red Sox games, and I said no. No, I was following them along. It's just tough to watch them because when you have kids, obviously, as you know.
Of course.
You don't get any to watch what you want most of the time, so you're not watching the Red Sox. You're watching shows, trying to catch up on all that
Dora
stuff.
the Explorer or whatever. Yeah, right.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse or whatever it is. That's actually not a bad show. But anyway, they're just sucking pond water right now, and it's just not fun to be a Red Sox fan.
And then at the end of the game last night, Mookie Betts exits. He's now day-to-day with a shin contusion. This is a tweet from Peter Abraham. They've been outscored 43-17 since the trade deadline passed without Dave Dombrowski, him basically just thinking that our bullpen was good enough.
Yeah.
And again, not to say that if he would have made a couple bullpen moves, this would have made a difference because the bullpen isn't going to fix the starting pitching. The starting pitching is atrocious. And David Price briefly goes on paternity leave, comes back for that Sunday night game against the Yankees. He's getting rocked early. So you're getting rocked so badly to the point that the Yankees, who we've owned over the last decade or so, feel confident enough that they start chanting, "Who's your daddy?" at David Price, which is a Pedro Martinez callback from the 04 series, which is just unbelievable that they're riding that kind of high. And as much as I hate to do this, you got to give the Yankees a little bit of credit. I mean, they've been in first in the AL East all year long, and the first 10 weeks of the season they were just decimated by injuries.
Have anybody.
I mean, Stanton was out, Judge was out, Tanaka was out. Like they've had a lot of really big names, and they overcame all that. They just with glue and bit parts and things like that. And DJ LeMahieu's like a bona fide AL MVP candidate. They've really played well and figured it out, and they're running away with this thing now.
Yeah, the Yankees we'll give them credit where credit's due, even though we hate them, like you just said. But I still think the Astros are probably going to win the World Series after their acquisitions at the trade deadline. I forget who they got. Who was the big name person they got?
Oh, you had to put me on the spot.
I can't think of it.
Oh, it's a starting pitcher, Zack Greinke.
Thank you.
They got Zack
Couldn't think
Greinke
of it,
from the Diamondbacks. That was like a last-minute trade that they got right at the deadline.
Pretty sure they didn't really give up anybody for him either.
No, I mean, so they've got Garrett Cole, they've got Verlander. I mean, that's an unbelievable starting three.
And their offense is still as good as it was last year.
Yeah, Yordan Alvarez came up, and he's been lighting the world on fire too. And George Springer and Brantley and Altuve and Correa. Yeah, like that team is definitely loaded. But you never know what's going to happen when the playoffs roll around. I mean, like I think
you just look at the NHL playoffs. Remember?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All the one seeds going out.
But I think if you get a short series, because the wild card series I believe is only 5 games.
Yep.
So you might be able to find your way to knock out one of these big teams. It does happen. But I wouldn't count this Yankee team out. And Cleveland's good.
Twins.
And yeah, I think the AL is the cream of the crop this year for sure. I think whoever comes out of things in the American League is probably going to win the World Series.
Yeah, and whoever is going to come out of the out of the AL is going to probably wind up playing the Dodgers again.
Yeah.
The Dodgers are the cream of the crop right now for the National League, which is kind of a down year for most of those teams in the National League as opposed to the American League.
Yeah, no question. I mean, like the Red Sox, they would be making some panic moves right now if the non-waiver trade deadline were still a thing.
Yeah.
They would definitely be getting some arms in there. But at this point, what's so disappointing is that the offense is actually really good and fun to watch. I mean, like Benintendi's coming around a little bit. Devers and Bogarts have still been great. JD Martinez got scratched last night with a back, like a lower back thing. It doesn't sound like it's anything major, but the offense has been really good. But the pitching, especially the starting pitching, has just been an absolute dumpster fire all year long.
Eduardo Rodriguez leads the starting pitching ERA with a 4.19. It's not
good.
Very good.
It's not going to win you a World Series, that's for sure.
No. Brandon Workman is still the best reliever from even a couple weeks back we were talking about it. He has a 1.99 ERA, but it's just not. Like, there's just no energy from them.
No.
There's just not that swagger that they had last year where they just went through everybody and just ripped off winning streaks and won over 100 games and just rolled right through the playoffs and into the World Series and even rolled through the World Series. Basically,
at this point, I'm just hoping that Devers and Benintendi keep lifting up my fantasy baseball team and just hope that they finish strong and just show a little heart over these last 30 or 40 games. But good news, Boston fans. Don't worry, everything's going to be fine.
Football season.
Because Tom Brady.
Hard Knocks is tonight too.
Hard Knocks is
Starts
tonight.
Oh,
yeah, that's Raiders,
with the Raiders,
right?
yeah.
Oh, that's absolutely. Is that HBO?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely tuning in for that.
10 o'clock.
I cannot wait to see that. It's going to be excellent. But Tom Brady, as you guys all know, I'm sure, signs a 2-year extension with the New England Patriots, and that's going to pay him. Including this last year that he has. So this is actually it's an extension for 3 more years. So now it's going to pay him $70 million through 2021. That's 23 this year, 30 next year, and 32 the following year. Though both sides are amenable to adjusting if the situation warrants. It's essentially year to year. That's a tweet from Ian Rappaport, which is classic Tom Brady, you know what I mean? His wife's a supermodel. And,
he doesn't need the money.
He doesn't need the money, so if they need a little extra money to sign him a weapon, he'll just, cut a little bit off his salary and they'll go sign somebody else. He's an excellent teammate in that regard.
Yep.
But you have to think if he wasn't married to a supermodel, he would probably be trying to get every dollar he could.
Maybe, I don't know. You don't
know.
A
lot of people don't like Giselle because they feel like they distract Tom Brady from playing football. You guys should be thanking Giselle because she might have more to do with this unbelievable run of Super Bowls than you guys are giving her credit for.
Yeah, pretty sure Tom Brady's a cyborg because he seems to get younger and younger each year. It just kind of stays the same. But hey, it's funny that most people or more players don't follow his routine in the off season.
Marrying supermodels?
Marrying rich supermodels and keeping your body in shape and everything because it's clearly paid off. And then you look at the players poll came out and Brady was like 3rd of the best players in the NFL. And it's just he wasn't even the best quarterback. It's just okay, so the guy's won 2 out of the past 3 Super Bowls. Well, he's been to 3 straight Super Bowls, won 2 of them. He's probably he's the best player in the league. He's a
great football player. Terrible father. You see the way he tried to kill his daughter going off that cliff?
Throw that girl off the cliff. Yeah.
I'm kidding. It's fine. But yes, so obviously that makes him the 6th highest paid QB in the league, which is fine. He doesn't have to be the highest paid QB in the league. You know, he'd rather have a little extra money for some weapons or some offensive line help when that makes all the sense in the world for him. He's going to be 42 years old this year. He's 42 now.
He just turned 42.
Yep. So congratulations to the New England Patriots. I'm sure you guys will at least win the AFC East again, and you know, have
another Super Bowl,
have another deep run. Yeah, you guys need another one real bad. So I'm looking at that DVD down there, I'm so angry. Anyway, let's change gears. And
we're gonna actually go local.
Yes, we're gonna chat a little local here to end the show, and we're gonna start with obviously the Midcoast Junior Legion baseball team that's comprised largely of Belfast players, but we've got a couple Camden players on this team as well. You know, some Mount View and Searsport players. So a good local contingent playing in the state tournament up in Bangor, and they're actually they're of the 8 teams in the state tournament, they're down to the final 3. And Zach, obviously, I've been on vacation, so you're more in tune with everything that's been going on. Why don't you let the viewers here kind of know how they got here?
Yeah, they've actually kind of had a major league schedule the past 5 or 6 days because they've played every single day, and they haven't had a day off. So Friday they beat Hammond Lumber Loons from the South region 5-4 in 8 innings. That was the first game of the state tournament. Midcoast kind of back it up a little bit. Midcoast came in as the 3 seed, and then they beat the 2 seed Hammond Lumber Loons in 8 innings on Friday. On Saturday, they beat the Acadians, the number 1 seed from the North, 7-2 to continue to move on. On Sunday, they lost their first game of the tournament to the 3 seed Fairfield, 7-4. Yesterday, they had to stay alive because it's a double elimination tournament. They beat the number 1 team from the South, Lisbon, 4-2 to make it to tonight's contest. They will play Quirk Motor City of Hamden tonight at 5 o'clock, which you're going to.
Yep, I'll be there.
And then the winner of that game advances to the championship game, which is also tonight at 7:30. So if Midcoast wins, they play back-to-back. Same day, same night.
And so their bullpen is taxed.
Yeah. Well, I talked to Scott Cornier, the manager, and he said that they're down to their 4 and 5 pitchers because of the way the pitch counts go for the kids nowadays. And he said the pitching hasn't been great, but the kids that we had been pitching have been doing, living up to, and surpassing expectations because they've gotten this far. And he said that to get back to their 1 and 2s, they need the tournament to be pushed back one more day, to Wednesday, maybe Thursday, to get to Joey Curtis.
I don't think there's going to be any rain.
Kids. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think
it's supposed to be tomorrow, but today's going to be a nice day, and today's the last day of the tournament, so I don't think anything's going to happen. But they need to win tonight. Twice, I guess, to win the championship.
Now, obviously, you say that their bullpen is kind of like the Red Sox, kind of taxed right now, like all their arms. But can't you say the same thing about the other 2 teams still remaining in the tournament, Quirk Motor and Fairfield?
I would assume so because they've played almost the same schedule.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're going to get maybe an equal footing. I mean, I don't know what their team's pitch counts are. Granted, they could have thrown their 1s, the whole way up to the pitch count and over it, or they could have saved them if they had a big lead.
So I don't know. Like these last 3 teams, it's almost like you've got a gladiator battle and everyone's exhausted and all the armor's off, and it's like, all right, this is the last. This is like the kill shot, so to speak. These games are probably gonna be high-scoring games because not just Midcoast's bullpen, but these other 2 teams, they probably are down to their 4, 5, and 6 pitchers as well.
Yep.
They're probably also hoping for some sort of rain out, which, as Tyler Southern will tell us, I don't think
it's
going to rain in the forecast coming up anytime soon. So
tonight, you should see a pretty good game because Midcoast beat Motor City twice during the regular season, but then they lost to them in the zone tournament, 3-0.
So 2 evenly matched teams.
2 evenly matched teams, and then. So Motor City's the 2 seed in the tournament. Midcoast is the 3. And
how did they do against Fairfield this year? I know they lost to them earlier in this tournament. I don't have.
I believe they beat them during the regular season. I'm not sure, to be honest.
So really,
I don't know off the top of my head.
They're playing 1 team tonight that they have beaten, and if they win that game, then they're playing a team in the state championship that they have beaten.
I believe they've beaten them.
So
I'm not sure. Exactly sure.
That's good. That's a good mental edge to have in the back of your mind. I mean, obviously, like all those teams, I'm sure Quirk has probably beaten Fairfield as well. So all those teams have beaten each other. And are all those teams North teams?
No, some are South. Fairfield's from the South.
Okay, Fairfield's from the South. Yes.
Fairfield is from the South.
And Quirk is from the North.
Quirk is from the North.
Gotcha. So they're the one South team.
So the North has 2 teams left, whereas the South just has Fairfield.
Gotcha.
But Midcoast lost 7-4 to them back on August 4th. So on Sunday they played them. They fell behind early. The Fairfield scored 2 runs in the first inning, 4 in the second, and 1 in the fifth. Midcoast scored 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and 1 in the fifth for that back in that game.
Yep.
So they fell behind. They kind of came back, but then they continued to fall behind the rest of the way. So.
Well, good luck to Midcoast tonight. It sounds like they have a real look at this thing. We might be talking about them walking off and winning a state championship next week.
Yeah.
So you never know. Well, we might be talking about that. So. But lastly, let's close out. Again, I missed this because I was gone, but our family usually vacations during the Lobster Festival week so we can get out of town and miss all the traffic and everything. So I always happen to miss the Lobster Festival crate race, and Zach was there. We've got some great video and photos from that up on our site. We're probably seeing some of the video right now. I'm willing to bet. Tell me about the lobster crate race. How was it?
Well, first off, it was nice. It wasn't abnormally hot.
Yeah.
You always get Lobster Fest the past couple of years has always seemed to fall on that weekend where it's 95 degrees. Remember 2 weeks ago we had that weather before we went on vacation. It was like 100 degrees outside. Felt like 185. Yeah.
Only Ichiro Suzuki could explain how hot it was on that day.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. You guys can Google that if you want.
Exactly.
Okay.
But anyway, the Lobster Fest was like about almost 80 degrees with the sun, but there was a nice sea breeze and it wasn't humid, so it was nice to for all that. But the water was a nice 62 degrees for our participants.
Yep.
I think we had I'm not sure how many we had total had. We always have a bunch. I think the max they allow is 99. I don't think they had 99 this year, but I think they had well up near 100 towards the max this year. But once again, it was a child that took home the title because they weigh less than everybody else. The lightweights.
Those lightweights.
Sean Griffith of Fairfax Station, Virginia, crossed 2,965 crates this year for the first place. He bested Aiden Genthner, who's from Owl's Head, right around the corner from Rockland. Genthner had 1,689 crates. So there were nearly 90 competitors, so almost 90 people.
Yep.
And they came from as far away as they normally do, like Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Limerick, Pennsylvania, Austin and Dallas, Texas, Lakewood, Colorado, Los Altos and Morro Bay, California, Gilbert, South Carolina, Kansas City, Missouri, Virginia, Florida, all around the country to, take their shot across.
It's a world-renowned crate race, and it's really like they have a similar one in Camden, but I feel like this one is more it's more well known because the Lobster Festival is kind of more well known than the Windjammer Festival is. But yeah, I always enjoy watching the crate race because you always get some bigger guys that want to give it a shot, and it usually never works out very well. But
yeah, you can tell because they have 4 divisions. So you have the featherweight, lightweight, medium weight, and supersize. So the featherweight had Sean Griffith, who won, and Aiden Genthner, who finished second. Lightweight was Caden Kennedy, who crossed 275 crates, and Timothy Fay, who crossed 245. Caden's 13, and Timothy is 18.
Yep.
So this is all done by weight. And then medium weight was Lauren Jacob, who was last year's winner. She's 21 from California. She crossed 397. Last year she crossed 1,397. So she was 1,000
She's just
short.
falling apart.
Yeah, right. And then Kent Weymouth was second in the medium weight from South Carolina with 58 crates. And in the super size, which is like me and you crossing.
Right.
Josh Bodman from Rockland, he was the winner with 8 crates. So, and then second was Todd Shepler from Austin, Texas, who crossed 7.
What do you think? Do you think you and I should do that next year?
Oh my gosh, that would be really bad.
It'd be really funny. It'd be like seriously, like 'cause Josh Bodman, he was if I'm not mistaken, he was a pretty good student athlete in Rockland. I believe he was a football player, and if he could only get 8 crates, I got a feeling you and me probably aren't getting more than 5.
I feel like they kept the people that were running the crate race kept telling the kids, and pick your knees up. You got to pick your knees up because you have to have fast feet to get over those crates. You can't just stomp down on it because A, you're gonna go through the crate,
You're right.
and then B, you're gonna fall in the water and you're gonna lose. Also, interesting fact about the crates you're seeing on the screen right now: there is in each crate 100 pounds of seaweed to keep it floating and
that makes
above
a lot
the
more
water and
sense.
stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah. And also to cushion your blow if your foot does go through the wood.
Oh yeah, geez, I hadn't even thought about that possibly happening. The other thing is there are ropes on top of the crates, so you really have to be careful. Most people wear socks when they go across because that helps with the traction. But obviously you don't want your bare feet to slip on that wood and just eat the thing. That wouldn't feel good. And obviously you also have to worry about your feet getting tangled potentially in the ropes. So so it's better for smaller competitors because not only are they lighter, so they're able to go across it faster, but their feet are smaller, so they're they can get into a nice groove where they can get right between those ropes and don't really have to worry about getting tangled or anything like that.
Definitely a balancing act. Trying watching these people, kids and adults, go across, and one small move, if you don't put your foot in the right spot, and the crate tips to the left or to the right, and then you're in the water
Yeah.
and you're done.
Well,
So.
congratulations to all the competitors at the Lobster Festival crate race this past week. Zach's on vacation from now, and then you'll be back next week.
Yeah, I'm only gone for the rest of the week.
Okay, and we'll be, we can maybe chat about a state championship for the Midcoast Legion team, and we are dangerously close to the fall sports season. So we're going to be starting
Almost preseason stuff.
I know we're going to be hitting some local like we've got the Midcoast field hockey tournament up in Belfast. We've got a couple soccer tournaments going on that'll be coming up here at the end of the month. So we'll be talking about that stuff before you know it. So until then, I'm Mark. This is Zach, and this has been the Press Box.